Welcome, ladies. It's FAQ time. Let's talk about all the things I like to have when I'm doing some machine quilting with templates. The first is the table. I like my table. It gives me a larger surface. It gives me a flat surface. It gives me a surface that supports my template. The second thing I always have when I'm quilting is sliders. This is my slider. This is queen size. It's like putting an oil slick on my machine. My fabric just moves easier even when I've got templates on it. I love my slider. It stays on my machine. The third thing that I've always got when I'm working with templates, tape, painter's tape. I buy this by the case. So it's great for a lot of reasons. The most obvious reason would be that I have templates that come apart, and when I want to store them, I need to have them put taped together. This makes them easy to pick up and easy to move and easy to store. I also like them to use them as a marking spot. So in this case, this particular strip of painter's tape is marking the spot when I do curved cross hatching for the distance that I'm going to move my template and line up on my stitch line. So that's there for a particular reason. You can also use them, little pieces of them, for marking a line. Let's say you can't remember which line you're constantly going to. No problem. Put a piece of tape down, and now you know which line you've used, and you're using it on a regular basis. Tear a little piece of it into a point, and now you can use it to say, start here and stop there. So now you can use it for any number of different reasons. Painter's tape is a wonderful thing to have. Fourth tool that I always have with me is grippy. Now, why do I need grippy? Because after all, quilters, rulers, tools come with gripping action on the back. So why do I need it? Well, especially with a tool like this. I use this tool to create a spiral this way, and rather than create the exact same spiral, only flipped, I'm going to spray grippy on the top and be able to flip it over. This is great when I'm creating hearts, when I'm creating spirals going back and forth, when I'm creating feathers. Why have two tools when one tool will do by flipping it over? So even though my tools have got fabric gripping action on the back, I still use grippy. There's a few little items that I really like, and one of the best is a quill. Why do I need a quill? Well, ladies, I have a substantial hand. I have two reasons that I like it. So any number of you probably know when you're threading your machine, you get this little tiny loop back there. And regardless of how many times I try, I cannot get my finger back there and hold on to it without pushing the loop through. So this is really great for getting that little loop, for using it for feeding through my feed dogs, or even better, you always are supposed to bring up your bottom thread, right? Well, again, I have little tiny fingers, and I have a heck of a time getting in there, or even worse, once I do get that to come up. So there's the other one I like. I'm either using my quill to get the loop, or I'm using a pair of tweezers, because I can't get my fingers under there. And as you might have noticed, I have this handy dandy little thing. It's called a mini station store. I absolutely love it. It keeps all of my tools right where I need them, and it normally gets stored right by my machine right here. Easy for me to grab. I'm right-handed, so there it goes. Other tools that I like and use a lot would be these lovely quilt clips and pool noodles. All right, so people ask all the time. I demonstrate on little tiny pieces at the show. I demonstrate on small pieces when I'm showing you how to use a tool. And they always go, yeah, but what about a big piece? Well, I'm a firm believer in using pool noodles. So I grab a hold of these. When I first had this one is a work in progress. It's been showing how to use different tools. But I just roll up batting, top, and fabric. Keep it smooth. keep it under control, and quilt clips to hold them together. Now, I don't always use pool noodles, but sometimes, depending on the size of the project and depending on where I'm working on the project, I'll use pool noodles. It all comes down to what works best for you. So those are just a few of my favorite things that I use when we're doing machine quilting. I'd love to hear from you about some of your favorite things. Thank you and have a happy time quilting.